And good evening. We come to you live from Jackson, Missouri, coming up on the 4-minute mark here of the JV contest. Right now, the Jackson Indians, they lead 33-26. I'm Frankie Castile. Glad to have you alongside here this evening, and we're going to have ourselves a good ball game coming up between Poplar Bluff and the Jackson Indians. David Davis is tuning in here this afternoon, or this evening rather. He says, let's go Mules. And the Mules right now, they are pushing the tempo. Jackson Moore with the Mules down by 7 points. We'll put that scoreboard on the screen for you if you are watching us on YouTube and on Facebook. We are trying to keep up with the score right now with Jackson and Poplar Bluff. The score you see on the screen right now, that is the correct score. It is 35-26. That is the current score right now. And we are in the process here of getting our fouls situated as well. Jackson's got 4 team fouls, and the Mules, they've already got 10. Jackson is in the bonus right now with 2:53 to go in regulation. Jackson right now, the freshmen, by the way, the ninth graders on the Mule side lost earlier this afternoon, 40-25, or make that 40-15 rather. That was the final score. And Poplar Bluff, somebody's hitting the banister there, which is why the score clock is jumping up and down. We can't help that. We try to put that anywhere we can, and still somebody always winds up to find where to hit it. Make sure and hit that share button for us here tonight. We're going to have ourselves a great time. Poplar Bluff, they're coming in the ball game. They have lost 3 straight ball games dating back to the games out in Joplin. The Mules losing 3 straight games. We'll see tonight if the Mules are able to get a win against a very good team out of the Jackson Indians. Of course, Jackson coming in to the ball game 11-4 on the season. Very good team, and we'll see what the Mules have in store coming up as Jackson is able to now extend this lead to a 10-point ball game. It is now 36-26. By the way, the Mules have 4 timeouts remaining. Jackson only with 2. There's a big 2-pointer by the Mules. It is now a 36-28 ball game. So coming up, the Mules are looking to get back in the win column. Poplar Bluff coming into the game with a record of 6-7. Jackson coming in 11-4. Coming up after this ball game, we're going to be joined by head coach Will Durden of Poplar Bluff, and he'll talk about this team and what this victory would mean for the Mules. And I'll be honest, the Jackson Indians still in our district, and for the Mules, it'll be, forget about conference for just a moment. The Mules coming in, it'll be a big district win if the Mules can pull this off. And when it comes to the district seeding, that's going to be really all that matters here, as Poplar Bluff is looking to potentially get back in the win column. We'll see what the Mules are able to do when we resume play coming up here later on tonight. Now, the good news is we were supposed to begin around 7:30, but it looks like that we're going to be able to go earlier here tonight, as the Mules now trail 36-29. By the way, I know we're talking about Mules basketball. We are about 2 weeks away right now, maybe a little bit more than 2 weeks away. We've got the OFC basketball tournament that's set to begin coming up. Can't wait for that one. The Mules now bring it back to within a 2-possession ball game. The Ozark Foothills Conference, 19 ball games, and we'll have them live for you right here on Facebook and on YouTube. Oh boy, the Mules now, the Mules at JV side, they are now down by just 2, or make that 4 points. And we've got a whistle and a timeout, I believe, called by the Jackson Indians. Boy, good defense here by Poplar Bluff. They are coming out from all angles, and the Mules right now is able to cut it down to 4 points Eric Wallace is tuning in tonight. Glad to have him alongside. All the way out in Kenmore, Washington. Glad to have you alongside Mr. Wallace as the Mules are looking to take on the Jackson Indians. It is our SEMO Conference opener tonight, as Poplar Bluff is looking to get into the win column. Later on tonight, I believe joining us is going to be our good friend John Scott. He should be joining us at any moment. I talked to him earlier today. He told me that he would be here tonight for Mules basketball. Would not miss it for the world. So we'll see how he is doing coming up as soon as he joins us on the broadcast. And we're thinking that he might be able to join us shortly before tip-off coming up of the next ball game between Jackson and Poplar Bluff varsity. Should be a fun matchup here tonight. Oh, the Mules with a big steal. Cameron Settle is going to go up, and he will draw the foul. Man, what high stakes right now in the JV game. Jackson's freshman team got off to a big jump over the Mules freshman team. By the way, both teams now are going to end up in the bonus. And now we'll see Settle on the free throw line. He's got two of them coming, and he'll miss the first one. That's a big shot. If he makes this free throw coming up, then that just means it is down to a one-possession game. And if you're the Mules, where will the offense come from? Settle now is going to take a second free throw. It is on the way, and it is good. It is now 36-33 the score. Mules down by one possession. A lot of contact there near midcourt. Nearly a turnover there. Good job by the Mules. They've got numbers going up, and scores is the Jackson Indians. It is now a 5-point game again, coming up on the 107 mark. Three-point basket by Edmondson, and he will drain it, and we've got a whistle and a timeout. You know what? That is now a 2-point game again as the Mules climbing back here. Mules doing everything they can to climb back in this game, down by just 2 points. What a great JV game, as we are hoping that the varsity game is going to be exactly like this. Okay, maybe not exactly this way. Maybe the Mules varsity will get out to a good lead and be able to maintain that lead. We'll see what happens here coming up tonight. By the way, Mules basketball this season, this game and every game is all being brought to you by First Midwest Bank. Also being brought to you by Kevin's Auto Repair, PB Realty, Legacy Farm and Land Specialist. Also being brought to you by Whitworth Gift Chest Jewelers, Air Solutions, and First Choice Insurance. Now the Mules, once again, another steal. The Mules are going to come away. Here is they're going to miss the layup. And now a bumping foul coming in underneath. So the Mules now are going to go to the free throw line. It is a 1-and-1 coming up. And we will see what the Mules are going to be able to do on this upcoming 1-and-1. Blaze Rowland wears number 10. He is on the free throw line for Poplar Bluff. Boy, he is down. First one is up and good. What a nice shot. It is now a 1-point game. I don't want to jinx you, Tim. I don't want to jinx this. Overtime? Are you kidding me on a JV night? We thought we were going to get done early, but it may not be the case. Mules have come all the way back, 10 down to tie the ball game at 38 points apiece. Here we are, 44 seconds and counting. Mules have got to play defense now. That's all there is to it. Settle doing a phenomenal job right now. Jackson, they may back it out. They may hold for one shot. And that's exactly what it looks like they're going to be doing right now. 27 seconds. Tie ball game for our JV Mules. 38-38 the score. Edmondson right now doing a good job defensively. Jackson's going to hold it for one shot, Tim. Either Jackson will win the game on the final shot, or you and I, my friend, are going to go to overtime for some free basketball. We get a whistle and a timeout. That was called right before maybe contact. Woo, telling you what, we were thinking this was going to be an early night for us, but you know what, Tim? It may not be over just yet. We might be in for some free basketball. Who would have thunk it? Randy Moore is tuning in. Randy and Tammy Moore tuning in all the way out in Brosley, Missouri, my stomping grounds. Glad to have you alongside Randy and Tammy. Let's go Preston. Boy, I tell you what, Randy, Preston had the shot of the season this past Friday night at the end of regulation, taking that little birdie there inside the paint area as time expired, tying up the game, sending it to the first of 2 overtimes. Boy, this Preston kid, Randy and Tammy, so fun to watch. This kid, he has gotten really good this season with all the minutes he is playing. You guys should be proud. He's done a phenomenal job thus far. All right, 7 seconds. Here we go. Jackson going to play for 1 shot. They're going to take the 3 ball. It is off the mark. It's no good. We're going to overtime. We are going to overtime in the JV contest. With that being said, we're going to step away for 1 minute, and we're going to come right back as we get ready for the first overtime. It is Mules and the Jackson Indians. We're coming right back. You're listening and watching live coverage of Mules basketball on the Southeast Sign and Graphics Mules Radio Network.
Breathe easier and extend the life of your HVAC system, plus fewer repair bills with Air Solutions Comprehensive Maintenance Plan. You'll save money and get the peace of mind that only comes from calling Air Solutions. 785-1500. Want a career?
Oh, so we are back as we get ready now for overtime. So in the varsity game on Friday night, we had 2 overtimes. In this matchup, we've got another overtime in the JV section. So right now, timeout-wise, Jackson with 1 timeout. The Mules have 4. Jackson with it. Possession arrow is going to favor the Poplar Bluff Mules here in this overtime as Jackson won the tip. Boy, who would have thought it that we would have ourselves a barn burner here on the JV side. Oh, we're going to get a foul. Blaze Rowland is going to be called for the foul, and he can't believe it. You can see his face. He did not believe that was going to be a foul. Lori West. Let's go Mules, Joshua Knight. Glad to have you alongside Josh. He is tuning in, him and Tony Knight. Let's go Mules. And once again, if you see the score clock, the play clock, if you see it bouncing up and down, we apologize for that. That is not us. That is people hanging on the banister. We try to set that somewhere where nobody will get it, and it seems like no matter where we put it, somebody always will find it. So Jackson is able to make 1 out of 2 on the free throws, and there's a jump ball. It is going to go to the Mules now on the change of possession. So now the Mules have it down by 1 point in the overtime. 1:17 to play here in the overtime. 2 minutes are given on the overtime in JV. Tell you what, Tim, calling a JV game like this, I'm having a blast. Rowland could not get the shot to go down. Williams on the shot is no good, and we're going to get an over the back called. And that's going to be a foul coming up, and that's going to be number 5 on Rowland as he is just fouled out. So 5th foul on Rowland, and he will exit early. Or he'll be exiting, rather. Had a good game all in all here tonight. So now 2 more shots coming up now for the Jackson Indians, up by 1 point with under a minute to play here in the overtime. First one is up and no good. Boy, I tell you what, Tim, I'm having a blast calling this JV game. Who would have thought it, right? We first got here, we didn't know what to expect. Bluff was down by double digits, missed them both. And now the Mules, they have a chance here. Cameron Settle has a chance to take the lead, and they do. Look at that, 40-39, 47 seconds. Jackson, he stepped out of bounds. He stepped out of bounds. Lloyd Rice says, yes, sir, Mules ball. Boy, good angle on that, Tim. You did a great job getting that foot on the out of bounds line. Mules have a 1-point lead with 43 seconds. Boy, I hope you're enjoying this, watching it at home, wherever you are. We're going to get a timeout called. This one on Poplar Bluff. My boy Chance is tuning in tonight on social media, watching us on YouTube. He wants to be here, Tim. He thinks he could do a better job on the scoreboard than I can. To be honest with you, he's top notch. He does a much better job than I'll ever do on this silly scoreboard. Jackson, by the way, taking a timeout. Or I should say the Mules, rather, taking a timeout. And they've got 3 left here in the overtime. Let's reset. It is a 40-39 ball game right now. 40 seconds left. Nicole Marie says, let's go Mules. Let us know what team you're going for. But if you're watching us on Facebook or on YouTube, how about this JV game right now in one overtime? In the first overtime, Mules have a 1-point lead, 40-39. Tim, your mom is tuning in, by the way, on Facebook. She says, good game and a great camera guy. I will second that motion. I've got the best in the business right here beside me. I've always said that. The truth is, Tim and I spend more time than we do with our wives. That's a true statement. We're always on the road together. All right, here we go on the inbound. Mules only have they've got 3 timeouts, and they're going to use another one right here. Good job on the awareness, and now the Mules are down to 2 timeouts. So good job by the defense here by the Jackson Indians. And Jackson, even though they're down by a point, they're not going to let the Mules have it easily. Mules are going to have to earn it coming up here. I've got my good friend Matt Wilkerson in attendance here tonight. By the way, the cheerleading team, they're going to be going to Dallas on Thursday to Nationals. So make sure and let's send some good luck cheers to our cheerleading team as they get ready to head toward Texas for the Nationals coming up. And they leave out on Thursday. 40-39 is the score right now. Mules are up by a point. They've got 2 timeouts remaining following back-to-back timeouts. Trying to get the ball inbounded. Still have not yet been able to do that. So now there's the inbound. Jay Edmondson going to be able to break the press. Williams, he was calling for it. Now we get a whistle and a foul coming up on the Indians. Jackson did not like it, but that is the right call here in this contest. So now we're going to see Edmondson going to the free throw line. He will take 2 free throws coming up. First one is up. It is no good. It was a 1-and-1, but the Mules get a rebound, and Dallas Williams is going to get fouled. That last foul, by the way, on the Jackson Indians, rather. It was called on Braden Thompson. That last foul was called on Gavin Asfall. So Gavin Asfall picks up the foul for the Indians. It's a 1-and-1, and the Mules missed them both. Both fouls were missed. And the Mules are going to go for a steal, maybe a timeout. Yes, sir. Mules with a big steal that time. Oh, my goodness. What awareness by Micah Insko, rather. Micah Insko, number 4. Great awareness of where he was, and he was able to call the timeout. So now the Mules are using another timeout. They've got 1 left here in the overtime. Boy, nobody has scored here in the final minute. Mules have had an opportunity to go up by 4 or 5 points, just unable to get the free throws to go down. Boy, what a JV game here tonight. Boy, the JV team The JV game as of right now is stealing the show. Mules will have it with 23 ticks left to go in the ball game. I'm not sure what we're going to be able to do, Tim, with that clock. It just keeps bouncing up and down. It's going to be that way the whole night. We do apologize for that. But the important thing is you can see the score if you're watching us right now on YouTube or Facebook. Mules going to inbound it. Nearly a backcourt. Good job there by Williams. And we're going to get a whistle and a foul coming up, and that's going to put Williams back on the line. 2 free throws coming up. And we'll see if the Mules are going to be able to knock them down. It'll be a foul coming up. This one's going to be on Cole Deck. He wears number 22 on JV. He also plays varsity. It is a 1-point game. It's a 2 free throw coming up. First one is on the way. It is up, and it is good. Mules now with a 2-point lead. And boy, this next free throw is so critical for the Mules to make this a 3-point game. And they're going to miss the second one. 2-point game. 15 seconds to go in the first overtime. Cole Deck, he's going to hand it off. Mules give some space. Offensive foul is called. And Cole Deck cannot believe it. It wasn't even called on him. Asphalt is going to be called for the offensive foul, and that's number 5. Fouls out with 7 points and 5, or make that 7 points, 5 fouls here in the ball game. Mules now with 7 seconds left. They're going to foul if they can't get a steal. The question is, if you're Poplar Bluff, who is your go-to guy? I would say it's got to be Jay Edmondson. It has to be number 3 in maroon. They're trying to get it to him. He is unavailable. Oh, the Mules are going to throw it away with 6 seconds. They turn the ball over. They try to get it to Edmondson. That is not what the Mules wanted. Timeout called by the Jackson Indians. And now the Indians have no timeouts left. Oh, baby, what a ball game. Is this where, Tim, you and I say thank you so much for watching. Have a great night. We're going to beat the traffic. Ron Withrow was tuning in. He said he had a busy day. No overtime. Sorry, Ron. We're in overtime, baby. Right here in the JV game. Boy, this JV Mules team is such a dynamic team. 6 seconds is left. I see Coach's wife, Faith Durden, is here with us tonight. It's funny because I got her to go on the air with me during the showdown, and she's going to come nowhere near where Tim is. Not a big fan of Tim's camera. I may have tricked her into sitting down and talking to me. So it's 41-39. Tim, can the varsity game be this close? Is it possible? I mean, if you look at the matchups coming up, I mean, you would think Jackson is the heavy favorite, but boy, this is a conference game. 3-point basket is no good. Ball is on the floor with 1 second, and the Mules survive. Mules survive this game 41-39. It was a battle. It was a battle. Congratulations to the JV team. What a battle tonight. 41-39 is the score, and this is our second game, or the JV game rather, is the first of 2 games. Man, that was fun calling that JV game. That was fun. 41-39 in overtime as the Mules pull out the victory. Coming up in just a moment, we're going to be joined by head coach Will Durden. He will walk over here in just a moment. In the meantime, let's go to a quick timeout on the radio side of things. We'll come right back when I do see Coach Will Durden. I think he's going to walk over here next. You're watching and listening to live coverage. It is Mules basketball live on the Southeast Sign and Graphics Mules Radio Network. And we are back here live in Jackson, Missouri. Joining us right now, the head coach of the Mules. And, Coach, first off, we got the opportunity to call it the last couple of quarters in the overtime game of that JV. That was a lot of fun. Maybe not so much for you, but for us watching, that was a good ball game.
Well, I'm not the head coach of the JV, so it's a lot easier when you're sitting over there just giving instruction than sitting there having to worry about everything. But the kids, they played real hard, and
they were down by 10 points in that fourth
got
quarter.
down by 10 and just grinded their way back in, and it was kind of nice to watch, man. And the older kids sat there and watched that, and if your kids got some fight in them like that, then they're never out of the game.
Let me ask you, can this be the sign of what's going to happen in your game coming up? Can we see a back and forth like we just got through watching?
I hope so. Just for the fans, they always want a close game, but the coaching staff, I'll take a 20-point win anytime. There's a lot less stress that way. But Jackson's been playing really well this year, and they're a tough team and well coached, so it's going to be a dogfight.
I'm going to give you three names, and you tell me the first words that pop up in your mind. Judd Toma averaging 13 points a ball game. Blaine Harris about 15. And, oh, by the way, the 6'8 senior, who I believe has been in high school for 10 years, Clayton Erst, is averaging 17. Your thoughts on those guys, and more importantly, can your Mules contain them and hang with this team coming in 11-4?
Toma's a really good athlete, and he brings a lot of energy. Good rebounder, and tries to play well in space. I think Blaine's probably the better offensive player this year. He's smooth, and he can make a shot while somebody's guarding him. And then the big guy, they're getting the ball into him this year. And if you're not playing him as a coach, you love to see that. And I think they're feeding him well, and he's responded. So it's all three of those kids are going to be a load, but I think the best thing about them this year is that as a group they're playing hard.
I didn't get a chance to talk to you after the game on Friday night, but what about Preston Moore, Coach? It's like a broken record. I mean, that kid, that may not have been the play designed for him. He goes the length of the floor in 4.7 seconds, and oh, by the way, game-tying shot to send it to overtime.
It's a big shot. I mean, it takes a lot of confidence just kind of gall to sit there and make that shot and take that shot, and I thought he did a good job getting the ball up and getting loose a little bit and making the shot. So, we were happy for him. I wish the game would have ended a little bit different, but I thought our kids fought and played well. And, if you can play against whatever ranked team in the state like that, and you're playing against good competition every night and competing, it should help us moving forward.
It's funny because I think your team, number one, didn't have a clue they were ranked in the top 10 until I told one of them. Number two, they don't know what the word quit is. That they could be up by 8, down by 7 with 90 seconds to go in the ball game, and they don't care. They fight until the last whistle blows.
Yeah, we're young, and we didn't have a lot of varsity experience coming in. I think our team is they're growing. I mean, we're going through some bumps in the road. But again, we have been saying it all year, and it's not just because we're not winning every game. But like if your team will play hard and listen and compete, then as a coach you can go home and think, man, these kids are doing what I ask, and that's what this group's doing. They've been a joy to coach all year, and they play hard all the time.
Obviously, 20 turnovers a ball game. We can't have that here tonight, Coach.
No, and we've turned the ball over quite a bit the last 3 games, and it's just as much as our team as it is the other team. We played against some good competition. I mean, you look at our schedule from top down, and it only gets tougher. You keep going down the schedule, but we do that for a purpose, because if we're competing against good competition and pushing ourselves the entire year, we should be ready by the end of the year.
Our 3 seniors, we're talking about David Durbin, Jack Scott, Gavin Rivers. They know how critical playing a Jackson team is. Oh, by the way, on the road, what about the young guys? Are they just as motivated as your 3 upperclassmen are to come in here and maybe knock off a good team at Jackson?
I think you always get up for a rivalry game, but we want the kids to take it as just another game on our schedule. Play against the competition, play against ourselves, and just play. You don't want to get tight thinking that you have to do something and be something that you're not. You just go out there and have fun.
All right, be honest. Your 11th year coaching. This is probably one of those games. Playing Jackson at Jackson, you're getting up yourself. You want to come out here and win, right?
If I could put a uniform on right now, Frankie, and put some shoes on, I'll play. If they'll let me play in what I'm wearing right now, I would. I mean, this is one of those games where, you know, you enjoy the atmosphere, you enjoy the rivalry, and you just want to enjoy the game.
So break it down. To beat Jackson, to get back to 500, to take our first SEMO Conference game of the year, your team must do what tonight?
We really need to help in the inside on the big kid and control the pace of the game.
All right, Coach. Best of luck to you. Go get them. We'll see you afterwards.
All right, thanks.
You betcha. Coach Will Durden joining us live on the pregame, presented by First Midwest Bank. I can have that guy on all pregame. He does, and he's so – I don't want to say underappreciated, but this guy does so much, not only for the team, but just the community in general. Coach Will Durden, we're blessed to have him as the head coach. He told you what's going to happen for the Mules to get this win, and even though he may not say it, I will say it. Tonight, it is a big game. Forget about the conference. Forget about being a road game. It's also setting us up for districts because we're in the same district. Obviously, head-to-head victories that will put us possibly ahead of Jackson coming up in the districts. The districts are going to be in Kirkwood, and even though we're sitting here mid-January, to me, it is time to get ready for the districts. Time to get ready for that next part of our season. That begins here tonight. We need a win to really propel this season. Right now, we are 6-7. Lee Wallace, my buddy, happy birthday to you, my friend. Glad you are spending your birthday with us. Lee Wallace, Evansville, Indiana, happy birthday, my friend. And hopefully, coming up in about 32 minutes from now, the Mules will give you a good birthday present, taking home a win at Jackson. Hopefully, though, we don't go into overtime to make it happen. Tim and I want to go home. I've got to be back in the morning early at 6 a.m., and Tim comes in at 1 o'clock in the afternoon anyway. So he's a night owl. I'm not. He's giving me that look like I am not a night owl. We're going to go to I'm sorry, what's up, Tim?
Fake news.
Fake news, yes, fake news indeed. So we've got the starting five for the Mules, and it is exactly like I thought it was going to be. We'll give our starting lineups coming up. We're going to go to a 30-second timeout. We'll come back, and we will – wow, it must be nice to walk in at 15 minutes late, fashionably late. You missed an overtime game. We called it live on the air. I brought you a roster. You dropped on the ground. John Scott, how in the world are you, my friend?
I'm doing all right, Frankie. Actually, I caught that overtime
Where
JV
was you
game.
at?
I was right down there on the floor right by the entrance down there. I walked right in, eat a little popcorn.
You know where we were? We're up here calling the game.
Well, I mean, I got to get down on the court, get around the people a little bit. Thought it was a good effort, actually, by the JV, man.
Down by 10 points and come back to win by a couple in overtime. Are you kidding me?
Very nice. Kept it exciting. Good referees in that game, the part I saw. Good to come over and get a win, even at the JV level against Jackson.
I think Tim was hoping for a triple overtime and reminiscence of Friday night.
Yeah, we'll get a few overtimes maybe later, Frankie. I mean, it's only an hour and 15 back.
You and I are good friends. We've been good friends for a long time. Am I able to call you out on something? Can we do that?
Yeah, all right.
Okay.
I don't know how far it is to the court from here, Frankie. I might throw you.
I went back and I watched that video from Friday night. And what I want to know is when Preston Moore hit that shot, you thought in the back of your mind that we were down by 3 points, didn't you?
Yes, I did, actually. And I started to say a two's not going to do us any good. But he got it and made it before he did, and I looked at the scoreboard. I thought we were down 3. No kidding. I mean,
that's how good that game was. And by the way, not to make you mad, how's the weather outside? It's kind of warm, isn't it not?
It's balmy, warm. It reminded me of football season coming over here.
Tim Simpson right now tuning in from Jacksonville, Florida. I bet he's happy right now because the Jacksonville Jaguars down 27-0, and they come back to win by 1.
That was a wild game. There's a lot of wild football games
That was
weekend.
A wild game indeed. So our starting five here tonight for the Mules, like I thought, Darius Graham, Gavin Rivers, Torrance Williams, Brendan Durden, Jack Scott. I love the starting five. You look on the other side, it's not been announced yet, but something tells me it'll be Cade Winborn, Grant Borchfield, Judd Toma, Blaine Harris, and we're just now getting that list right now. And yes, the starting five, Blaine Harris and Clayton Erst. Oh, by the way, 2 6'4" kids and a 6'8" kid. The Mules will have their hands full tonight offensively. they're going to have to figure out a way to out-rebound a very physical Jackson team, but I still like our chances. Even though we're 6-7, we're not playing like a team under 500. We're playing like a team that should be in the top 10 of Missouri.
Yeah, no kidding, Frankie. And I don't want to jinx anything, but certain teams we play better against, and Jackson is one of those teams that we usually rise to the occasion. That Clayton Ernst, man, I swear he's been here like 9 years.
That's what I told Will Dirt, and I said the same thing.
I remember, and of course, Jack's always matched up against him the last several years, and it's always a challenge, but they'll go head-to-head, I think, tonight. Jackson obviously shoots the ball very well. First-year new coach, and they've done very well so far. We're on their home floor, but I feel like the Mules are going to come out. We got something to prove, and I think they'll play loose tonight. You know, at some point, you get to a point in the season where you got to just come out and play. Don't worry about records. Don't worry about what happened last week or last game or 2 weeks ago. Just show up and do what we know we can do, and that is play good Mule basketball. D up on these guys, score about 85 points, and see what happens.
Absolutely, indeed. So what we're going to do, we've got 4:49 to go. By the way, do you get scared of the dark?
You going to flip the switch, Frankie?
I'm not flipping the switch. I was told when they do the starting lineups here, you might get those fireworks you wanted. It's going to get nuts in here in Jackson. The lights are going to go down. I know you're pretty sensitive with that stuff, so I want to give you a heads up.
Thanks for that. I'm a little bit traumatized. We're in some kind of a cage up here, it looks like. I hope somebody doesn't come by and lock this. I don't know if we can get out.
I know, so we're going to go to a quick timeout here. We're going to thank our sponsors on the radio, and then we're going to come back and we'll have the opening tip. 4 minutes until tip-off. You're listening and watching Mules Basketball live on the Southeast Sign and Graphics Mules Radio Network.
Want a career and not just another job? It's waiting for you at Briggs & Stratton. Great pay, great benefits, and continuing education. Everything you and your family deserve. Go to careers.basco.com and look at Poplar Bluff job openings.
Christian Automotive and Tire. Quality name brand tires that you know and trust. They also have ASE certified mechanics that have the training, tools, and knowledge to fix your vehicle right the first time. Business 67 South in Poplar Bluff. Eye Care Specialists is committed to the protection and the preservation of the precious gift of sight. Nothing is more important than your eyesight. That's the way the doctors of Eye Care Specialists see it.
Protecting your toys are just as important as protecting your daily driver. First Choice Insurance can help find the coverage for your ATVs, boats, and campers that will give you peace of mind and not break your bank. So don't forget to allow First Choice Insurance to review your insurance needs today.
All right, so here we go, under 90 seconds, and of course we're so happy to be ready for Mules basketball. I'm Frankie Castillo, Tim Hicks on the camera. The one, the only Senor John Scott is joining us.
Yeah. Hola.
By the way, can I say this real fast? Grandma Jackie is tuning in. She may want to avert her ears, but you know what? Coming up March 6th, we're about a month and a half away. She'll be 90 years old.
90, that's a good one.
Listening to Mules basketball day in and day out. That is dedication.
90 is a good one. I hope she has a lot of treats for Misty the dog, because tonight there's going to be some treats.
I've got to figure out what I got to get her for her birthday.
Well, 90, that's
a big deal.
A trip to Vegas, maybe? Something?
She won't go to Vegas. She won't go to Vegas. We're going to go down courtside. We've got the national anthem, and then we'll come back with our starting lineups. So here we go. Time now for the starting lineups here tonight. And I got to tell you, when the lights go down, I got to hold John Scott's hand. He gets kind of nervous.
Frankie, I don't know. We're over here in Jackson. You never know. International waters over here.
International waters. So tonight, the starting lineups are going to be what we thought they would be tonight. We were 10 for 10 on the night. We've got some good officiating here tonight. The senior official, Lloyd Rice, he does a phenomenal job. Darius Graham, a 6-foot junior. Number 3, Gavin Rivers, a 6'4" senior now being introduced. Oh, here comes some of the lights already starting to flicker here tonight. Number 10, Torrance Williams, a new hairdo tonight. I like it. A 6'5" junior. I like that hairdo, John.
Third time's a charm.
And Brendan Durden, a 6-foot sophomore. Here's the big man, a senior, Jack Scott, a 6'6" senior. So those of you watching, it's going to get dark. Jackson, they go all out. We got to start doing this for our home games. We got to start knocking the lights out.
We need lights out. We need smoke. We need fire. Maybe a dragon.
Boy. Listen to the crowd tonight in Jackson.
A live mule, something.
I can't even see.
I do think we should have fire. We tried to get fire on the new scoreboard at the football stadium, but I guess the fire department didn't like that.
Cade Winborn, a 6-foot senior. Number 3, Grant Borchfield, a 6'1" senior being introduced.
Oh, he fell down.
Toma.
Whoops.
Who fell down?
14, Toma.
Judd Toma.
Slipped and fell. Reminds me of an old story I'll tell you one of these days.
Blaine Harris is being introduced now, a 6'4" junior and the 6'8" senior, 10-year senior. Number 33, Clayton Nurst.
Yeah, that kid's getting his AARP.
Uh-oh, John, you got some explaining to do. Yeah. You care to explain to us how you got here so fast? According to Martha Kirkman, looks like you may have got here too quick from a swim meet.
I took a shortcut.
Oh, well,
I took the back roads.
Would that be 85, 90? What do you think?
I'm not sure what happened. You know how it is, Frankie. It's dark. I don't see as well.
Gotcha. So here we go. It'll be Clayton Nurse, Taurus Williams, Mules basketball about to be underway. They had those fireworks going off, and the officials already cleaning up the debris right now.
Hazard.
By the way, the officials tonight, Eric Bennett, Adam Harrell, and the chief of the night is Lloyd Rice. Clayton Nurse, Torrance Williams, Tim Hicks, John Scott. I'm Frankie Castile. I've got my son Chance. He is guiding me on the scoreboard. It'll belong to the Jackson Indians. And the Indians now are going to go right to left on your radio and TV dial. Blaine Harris hands it off right back to Winborn. And now top of the key once again. Got to watch out for Harris underneath. He is a dynamic player. Open jump shot in the wing. I told you, this kid, he is something special to watch. Good job by Borchfield, or make that by Cade Winborn on the assist. Jackson now leads early 2-0. So Brendan Durden now, top of the key. This will be a night that you and I stand up an awful lot tonight, John. I got a feeling. It's going to be a steal right off the bat by Winborn. Winborn now, he is averaging about 6 points a ball game. They get it outside to Judd Toma. By the way, Judd Toma, as we see Clayton Erst, his shot is no good. It'll be rebounded by Darius Graham. Judd Toma is the nephew of the head coach, Corey Toma. Nearly a turnover there as the Mules able to get it right back. Jack Scott guarded by the big man, the 6'8 senior, Clayton Erst. Good job at that time by Torrance Williams. It's knocked away by Judd Toma. Roger Faith is tuning in. He is watching from Crystal City, Missouri, on the banks of the mighty Mississippi. He says, good luck to our Poplar Bluff Mules. So now Darius Graham, 6:40 to play. First quarter, Jackson leads at 2-0. Guarded by Borchfield, and we'll see what Darius Graham, he had 17 points, by the way, on Friday night. Darius Graham, Gavin Rivers powers his way inside the paint. It's no good. Torrance Williams comes back up, and it's no good as well. And this time it'll be taken by Borchfield.
Ernst really caused a lot of trouble down in the paint.
Oh my goodness, on the other end. Cade Winborn. He goes up and goes over two defenders, and now it is a 4-0 lead. And this is the same way the Mules got off the last time that these two met in the regular season. Jackson got off to a 10-point game, and we're going to get a whistle and a turnover here on Torrance Williams. It is quickly 4-0 now. Jackson leads it here in the early going with 5:51 to go here in the first quarter. Mules got to slow it down here tonight, John.
Yeah, a little jitters.
Play their game, not Jackson's.
Yeah, and they can't worry about getting their shot blocked down there. Ernst, that last time we had a couple of nice looks. They try to adjust the shot to not get blocked, but you got to take that chance and get the foul,
Good job by Blaine Harris, or I should say defensively by Gavin Rivers, as Harris misses a three-pointer. We're going to get a whistle here and a foul coming up. It'll be the first foul on the Jackson Indians, and that'll put the Mules on the free throw line, or was it on the floor? They may say it was on the floor. Winborn is going to be called for the foul, and we're going to see Isaiah Neville. He'll come in for Jack Scott. So the foul was on the floor. Thought he may have been in the act of shooting there, but what do I know? I'm all the way up here. Oh, the Mules quickly going to be out of bounds off of Gavin Rivers.
Is that 3 turnovers?
That is already 3 turnovers here in the ball game for the Mules. And in case you're keeping score, John, Jackson doesn't have one just yet.
I had that feeling when I woke up this morning, Frankie.
That it was going to be a great day.
Yes, absolutely. But the JV was going to win overtime. We'll talk about that 2 years ago when we beat Jackson double overtime in the district championship.
Right.
How about that,
That's
Frankie?
right. Clayton Nurse near the elbow now. Boy, this is a loud student section right here beside us. Good job by Durden. Could have been a walk, not called. Instead, it'll be Judd Toma. And we're going to get a whistle here and a timeout called. This one by the Mules. We'll step away for 30 seconds. Jackson leads at 6-0 on the Southeast Sign and Graphics Mules Radio Network. All right, 6-0 now. The Mules trail, and we're going to see Marlon Hickman-Roberson in the ball game now for Gavin Rivers. Mules down by 6. We'll see what they can do. So far, no substitutions here by Jackson early on. Boy, Durden, he is having all kinds of issues right now with Cade Winborn. A good job by Isaiah Neville, just could not get that shot to fall. The big man on the rebound. Blaine Harris now, good kick outside to Winborn for 3. It's going to be short. Boy, good move by Marlon Hickman-Roberson on the rebound. Boy, the Mules cannot buy a bucket here. 3 turnovers, still 6-0. Still well within the Mules' reach to climb back in this ball game.
2-possession game, Frankie.
And if you're counting, if you go by twos, it'll be a 3-possession game.
Well, we just got to settle in, and we're going to have to pass the ball. We're kind of doing that pass it once and take a shot, and that doesn't really work against a team like this that's really D'ing up on us.
So Braden Toma, Steven Schneider, each checking in for the Jackson Indians. Let us know where you're watching from tonight. Make sure and hit that share button for us. We had over 1,200 views on Friday night at a home game. Mules missing the shot again. Isaiah Neville could not get the shot to go down. Blaine Harris on the rebound. And now on the other end, Braden Toma. That is the coach's son, by the way. Corey Toma, the coach. Oh, Clayton Nurse, good move inside. What a good rebound that time by Brendan Durden. And here comes the Mules again, just down by 6 points. Mules 0 for 4 to begin the ball game. Have not been able to get a shot to go down as of yet. Mules going left to right. Looks like David Durbin going to check in for the Mules. On the other side for the Indians, it'll be Gavin Holdman, who wears number 22. He's going to check in next. Isaiah Neville thought about taking a three-pointer. Backed away, Darius Graham. This kid not afraid to shoot the rock. Shot is no good by Darius Graham, rebounded by Clayton Hurst. And now Toma gets it to the outside. It's going to be last touch by the Mules, I believe. And we'll see David Durbin coming in. So Clayton Hurst is going to check in. Darius Graham takes his seat, and David Durbin back in for Poplar Bluff. The Mules right now, John, are 0 out of 5. 5 rebounds in the ball game. What a move inside by Judd Toma.
You can't have that off the inbounds. Wide open look in the paint. Yeah, that Hurst, man, he's got shoes bigger than a kayak I own.
Guarantee it. He's a good baseball player, too.
I bet he wears a 20.
So now Torrance Williams thought about taking a 3 there. Gets it back to Durbin. Isaiah Neville, top of the key. Mules down 8-0. It's still early in the ball game. It's about game of runs, and we'll see what the Mules are able to do.
Yeah, we need to put together a run, Frankie.
Yes, we do. David Durbin, or make that Brendan Durden, rather. He goes inside, and he'll draw the foul.
I like Brendan's
absolutely
aggressive play right here, trying to get on the board, just break the seal on it, get some points, settle in a little bit.
So going to the free throw line is Brendan Durden. He is shooting 70% on the season. He'll get 2 of them here. First one is no good. Boy, this kid coming in for the Mules, Preston Moore, he really gives the Mules a big spark. I mean, he plays phenomenal.
No kidding, yeah. He's earned minutes, and he's earned more minutes.
Absolutely.
And I think he really has a big role with this team.
So now Durden takes his second free throw, and the Mules finally get on the board. And we're going to see coming out for the Mules, Brendan Durden. He will check out. Gavin Rivers back in. The Mules have on the floor right now Isaiah Neville, Gavin Rivers, Preston Moore, David Durbin, and Marlon Hickman-Roberson. 2:15 to go first quarter. Mules trail 8-1. Boy, the Jackson Indians nearly turn it over. How is that not a travel is beyond me.
Yeah, no kidding.
Should be a jump ball. Are they going to say a foul? They're going to say a jump ball, okay. And it's going to go to the Mules.
You know, really, Frankie, as bad as we've played offensively, defensively, we're doing okay. You know, we got them held to 8 points thus far. Not too bad. If we could just get more than 1 point.
Absolutely.
Back to that rule number 1, score more points than the other team.
8-1 now the score. Preston Moore, he's not afraid to shoot it either. Hickman-Roberson gets a little bit of space. There's the running floater. It's no good. Boy, the lid is on the goal tonight for the Mules so far. Mules now. Toma kicks it inside. Boy, they had a wide open layup there. Judd Toma he refused to shoot that shot.
Oh, they pass it well.
They do. They've got great ball movement. We're going to get a whistle and a foul coming up. I believe this one is going to go on Preston Moore, and that'll be the first team foul by the Mules. It is going to be on Preston Moore. Going to the free throw line, Judd Toma Toma, coming into the season, is averaging about 13 points a ball game. First one is up, it's no good. So now we're going to see coming in for the Jackson Indians, Cade Winborn. He is back in, and he will replace Braden Toma. Keith Porter is watching from Kansas City, Missouri. Second one is no good by Toma as well. Good job by Preston Moore on the rebound. 125, or 122 rather. Preston Moore wide open for three. It's going to be way short.
Caught the wind.
Wind caught it here in the gym. 3-point basket by Blaine Harris is no good.
But he got the rebound. There's Preston Moore running the floor.
That's right. So now Isaiah Neville, he's going to go up top, and he'll draw the foul on the Jackson Indians. Man, the Mules right now very fortunate, in my mind, to be down by 7 points as we get a foul on Gavin Holdman. And now we're going to see Isaiah Neville to the free throw line. So far this season, he is 28 for 35, 80% on the free throw line. He had 12 points, by the way, on Friday night. Mules just right now have only made one free throw out of 3 tries.
I wonder when the last time we scored 1 point in a quarter was. There's a stat for you to look up.
I don't want to find out. Preston Moore
records
is going to check out. Torrance Williams back in, and we missed them both. Not a good move for the Mules, down 8-1, under a minute to go. By the way, Luke Talley checks in. I'll get it right the second time. Talley checking in. We're going to get a whistle and a foul coming up on Poplar Bluff, and that'll be team foul number 2 now for the Mules. Jackson with 3 team fouls. Mules have 2, and that'll be a foul on David Durbin.
It could all go bad at any second, but yeah, Frankie, I think to be down 7 with this kind of offense for a quarter is absolutely remarkable. We should be thanking our lucky stars for that, because 9-1 is not an ideal score, but hey, we're just, what's that, 3 possessions? 3 possession game. I got to get my calculator ready to figure that out.
So Gavin Holdman. Also, Isaiah Neville checks out. Brendan Durden back in. Hickman Roberson is out. Darius Graham is back in. It is now 9-1.
What's that, a baseball score?
It's a baseball score indeed.
Soccer maybe?
Blaine Harris.
A bad day?
Gives them a 9-point lead. It is a 3-possession game. Mules trail 10-1. Only 1 point in this quarter. Gavin River, or make that Darius Graham, trying to change all that. Torrance gets a little bit of space. High off the backboard, it's no good. Saw that one not going to fall. Winborn on the rebound, and they've got numbers. And we're going to get a foul before the goaltending. You're not going to get goaltending on that one. The coaches want goaltending. No way the foul happened before.
Yeah, and it was going up. But, yeah, you know, we make so many strong athletic moves to the basket, but it's like we don't shoot the shot. We just throw it, you know, and that's a lot of times you're getting hammered down there and get a foul. But I feel like if our guys would just focus a little bit on making the shot, you know, they make great athletic moves. And then it seems like they get to the end and can't do it.
It is up and it's good. It's now 11-1 to score. Mules are down by double digits. Not the start that Coach Will Durden envisioned. There's an offensive board by Talley. And another offensive board. And then he goes in and makes it.
Yeah, that could have been over the back on Ernst. He's so big. But it probably wasn't. But we got to box out down there when they're shooting free throws. We got to get that rebound. Can't let them have 3 shots. Well,
so now it is 14-1 the score.
That's a more than 3 possession game. Maybe Ms. Kirkman can do the math on that and let me know. Class of 90, by the way.
14-1. Durden is going to be called for the foul. Nope, it's going to be a foul on Jackson on the floor. Boy, the Mules have not played their best game so far. They are 0 for 8 to begin the ball game. Talley is going to be called for the foul. 14 fouls apiece with 14 seconds on the clock. Gavin Rivers, that shot way off the mark on the inbound. Clayton Hurst on the rebound. Long pass inside. Mules try to take it away. High off the backboard is no good by Schneider. Durbin on the rebound, and this quarter comes to an end. The Mules are down 14-1. We'll be back. You're listening and watching Mules basketball live on the Southeast Sign and Graphics Mules Radio Network.
Kevin's Auto and Tire is a family-owned one-stop shop for fast, friendly, and affordable automotive services with the latest tools and technology as well as their time-tested automotive knowledge. They're guaranteed to get your vehicle fixed without breaking the bank.
Larry Hillis is a proud sponsor of Mule Sports. Local sports, local fans, and local business. A winning combination.
Patriot Auto Glass offers chip repair or glass replacement. They provide fast quality service done by experienced technicians. Ask about our veteran and first responder discounts. Call Patriot Auto Glass today at 573-840-5027.
Well, the Mules right now find themselves down by a score of 14-1. And right now, the only player to score for the Mules in this ball game is Brendan Durden, as he was able to score on a free throw opportunity. And that's it so far. Mules were outscored 14-1. It'll be Jackson basketball now, as they will get the inbound here. Cole Deck, who checks in. Also, Grant Borchfield is in the ball game. There's a good steal by Darius Graham. The Mules have numbers. No foul is called. Boy, a lot of contact there.
A lot of contact on that one. Not going to get that call at Jackson. You know who would know that stat? Tom Hoover would know the last time,
yes, he
if
would.
Ever, we scored 1 point in a game. Probably 1930.
God rest his soul.
1934 or something like that.
So Brendan Durden is on the floor right now. David Durbin as well. Also Isaiah Neville for the Mules and Torrance Williams. So Poplar Bluff right now down here by a score of 14-1. Each team with 4 fouls here in the first half. Mules have used 1 timeout. Torrance Williams now had some space out near the baseline. Mules down by 13 points.
They're going to have to take the ball to Ernst. They can't be scared by him. Try to get a foul. You may get it blocked a couple of times, but
it's amazing how Jackson switches coaches, and this kid explodes talking about Ernst. Durden misses a three-pointer. Judd Toma on the rebound. David Durbin went for a steal. Long pass outside to Deck. It's no good. Good job by Brendan Durden, as Cole Deck could not get the shot to go down. Boy, Jackson is missing some shots, giving the Mules an opportunity here.
Oh, yeah, we've had all kinds of opportunities. We just can't buy a bucket.
Oh, what a move by, there you go, Torrance Williams, big fella, goes up and over. And that's going to give the Mules their first bucket of the ball game, John.
2-0 run.
It's now 14-3 the score. We're going to get a whistle here and a foul coming up. I believe it's on the Mules.
We're rolling now.
That'll be team foul number 5 on Poplar Bluff, and that's going to be on David Durbin. He'll come out. So Durbin with his second foul here in the ball game.
You know, defensively, we're playing okay.
We really are. I mean, everything, I know it's not going our way right now, but the Mules are still far from out of this ball game. 6:20 to play, first half.
Oh.
Judd Toma, got to watch him with 4 points in the ball game. Grant Borchfield, he hasn't scored yet. Clayton Hurst hasn't scored either, but he's a threat with the rebound game, no doubt. Mules outscored 14-1 in the first quarter. Clayton Hurst misses that shot. Good rebound by Torrance Williams. By the way, the Mules have outscored Jackson this quarter a whopping 2-0.
Yes, we have. We're on a run. Here's 4.
Oh, I thought that was going to finish. Boy, I like the intensity here. The Mules have turned up the pressure here in the second quarter. And that'll be a foul on Clayton Hurst, the big fella. That's team foul number 5 now for the Indians. To the line is Torrance Williams. So far this year, 7 of 18, 39%.
Don't say that out loud, Frankie.
My bad. This is the first one.
I was hoping there were listeners who might not know what that is.
So Cole Deck will take a seat, as will Winborn and Clayton Hurst in the ball game now for the Jackson Indians.
Well, you know, Frankie, the thing is, this is kind of a pattern. This is how we do. We get down, then we get on a roll, and we roar back. And the trick is, not to get so far down that we can't roar back.
So 1 out of 2 for the Mules that time. It's now 14-4. The Mules are down by 10 points.
We can easily make this back, but we don't need to let it get any further out of hand.
Absolutely. I agree 1,000%. I concur. By the way, the word of the day is a big basket there in in the wing there by Blaine Harris. He's got 6. Good job by Braden Toma on the assist. Oh, Torrance Williams, my goodness, he has exploded for 5 points here in this quarter rather. I'm going to be consistent here tonight. There's a good backdoor pass to Gavin Holdman.
A little breakdown on defense. I like Torrance's offensive effort.
My goodness, the Mules on the other end with 2 more points.
You know, that's the thing about Torrance. He gets a couple of buckets early in the game. He's a dangerous player.
Darius Graham goes coast to coast, 18-8 now the score. Big jumper there by Judd. Toma is no good. Neville on the rebound. Gavin Rivers says, I want to score. Goes up and scores.
Nice 8-point game, Frankie.
Yes, it is. I like it. 18-10 now, Mules fans. We got some Mules fans in the house. Cowboy theme, I believe.
Yeah, looks like it.
Tim, what was that word that we were listening to on the way up here? What was it? I didn't hear what he said, but I'll get it here in a minute. Oh. 3-point basket is no good by Borchfield. Good job on the wing there by Toma, and we're going to get a whistle and a foul coming up on Poplar Bluff. And it's going to be on the Mules there. And that's going to be team foul number 6 now. So Jack Sion is going to be in the bonus as Gavin Rivers now is called for his second foul rather. We get a whistle and a timeout. We'll stay right here. Mules basketball proudly presented by our friends at First Midwest Bank. Also being brought to you by Kevin's Auto Repair, PB Realty, Legacy Farm and Land Specialists, Whitworth Gift Chest Jewelers, Russians Towing, Air Solutions, First Choice Insurance, Poplar Bluff Regional Medical Center, and Patriot Auto Glass. So far here in the first half, John, the Mules started off 0 for 8. But in this quarter, my friend, Mules are 4 out of 5. They were 0 for 9 in the first quarter, 4 out of 5 in this quarter, and they are led by Torrance Williams with 5 points. Mules so far has outscored Jackson 9-4 in the second quarter.
I feel like we should just play a quarter somewhere else before we get over here. You know, like before we play a game, go play a quarter in the yard or in the parking lot or pick up games somewhere down at the Y, somewhere like that. Kind of get warmed up proper. Takes us a quarter to get warmed up.
Mules had looks like 6 players on the floor for a second.
That happens.
Now we're good.
It's been known to happen.
It has been known to happen. Jackson now as Braden Toma checks in the ball game. Blaine Harris stays in. Blaine Harris for 3. Oof. Knocks it down. That kid gives me nightmares.
Yeah, you know they're going to get hot.
Oh, yeah. They're not going to stay cold for very long. That's not in their mentality. Mules, Preston Moore now. Jump shot is up and good.
Nice.
Well, that's a nice jumper there by Preston Moore.
Nice little mid-range.
His first bucket of the ball game. Give the Mules 2 points there.
See Jack back in the game, battling down low, Mr. Ernst.
Steven Schneider back in as well. Harris now gets a little bit of space, kicks it outside. Toma runs in, it's no good. Good rebound by the big man, Jack Scott.
Good position on Ernst on that one.
So now Brendan Durden and Torrance Williams also still in the ball game for Poplar Bluff. 21-12 to score. Durden goes up, shot, a lot of contact there. No foul is called. Rebounded by Holdman. I tell you what, the Mules only down 21-12. Still a lot of ball game here. 3-point basket. Oof. Oh, he faked him out. Went for the dunk, no good, but Clay Nurse will clean it up. He uses that 6'8" body frame, and now it is a 23-12 lead. Torrance Williams He goes coast to coast, and he'll draw the foul.
Is that 2 on Ernst?
That is number 2 on Clayton Ernst.
We'll take that.
Each team now with 16 fouls. Both teams are in the bonus.
That kid
they're going to call that on Schneider.
Oh, they bailed him out on that one. That was Ernst. He, man, when he was junior high, he was a big old kid. Freshman year, big old kid. But he's really filled out now. He's moving some bodies around.
Torrance Williams on the free throw there. We're going to see coming in for the Mules. We'll see Darius Graham coming in for Jack Scott. On the other end, we're going to see Holdman and Toma checking out. Judd Toma checks back in the ball game, as does Cade Winborn. 1 out of 2 by Torrance Williams goes to Winborn. 23-13 now. I still say if the Mules can figure out a way to keep this maybe a 10-point game before halftime, I like our chances still.
Oh, yeah, Frankie.
A lot of ball game left.
A lot of time. We get on a good run.
Steven Schneider pull-up jumper is no good. Waiting on the wings is Darius Graham. Graham now, boy, he is so quick. He only knows one speed. Pull-up jumper is no good. Goes over, tries to go up and over the 6'8" senior. But the 6'8" senior wins that battle.
Yeah, he didn't have to jump much for that.
He did not. But you got to give Darius Graham credit for trying.
Hey, if Darius had about 2 steps, it would have been trouble. But he was already there.
146 now. 3-point basket by Schneider is short. Gets his own rebound somehow. Another jumper is short. And this time it's going to be taken by Torrance Williams. Boy, Torrance, very smart IQ, slowing it up, letting his team catch up. He knew he didn't have the numbers with him. Boy, a big crowd tonight on social media. Thank you so much for tuning in. Preston Moore from downtown.
Boom.
Bang!
Boom, nice.
That is what the Mules needed. Darius Graham on the assist. 7-point game again, Johnny boy.
Nothing but net on that one, Frankie.
Oh, I don't know about that one. They're going to say a foul on Torrance Williams, and I thought for a moment, I'm going to watch the replay here.
Little chintzy.
Looked like it was mostly all ball.
We're not getting that call on this end.
We're not.
For sure.
It's definitely going both ways.
Kind of expect that.
7th team foul for the Mules. We're going to see Jack Scott coming back in for Torrance. So Torrance will take a seat, 6 points, 4 rebounds.
Actually, that was Preston. Torrance went back to have a little mix-up on the subbing.
Yep, so Preston Moore's going to come out.
They faked you out, Frankie.
They sure did. 1-1 for the big fella. He goes up and he'll score it. So Preston Moore will take a seat. Torrance is back in the ball game, but still Preston Moore, 5 points, 2 rebounds.
Oh, Preston does. He puts in good minutes, man. His stats are good for the time that he plays. He's a plus addition to the team. When he's on the court, we do well.
25-16 now, 1:09 to go here in the first half. Coming up at halftime, for those of you watching us on YouTube and social and Facebook, John Scott's going to be singing for us at halftime. He's got a duet. There's a steal by Winborn. Isaiah Neville turns it over, but gets the rebound.
Yes. Good defense. Never quit.
Darius Graham along the outside. It's going to go out of bounds. The Mules are bailed out there. Good job as Darius Graham is able to get it right back. Now we're going to see coming in for the Mules, Brendan Durden. He'll come in for Jack Scott. 45 seconds left here in the first half. 25-16 the score. Mules have it underneath their own goal. The inbound to Brendan Durden. Turnaround jumper, yes sir. That's his first bucket of the ball game. And the Mules once again down by a touchdown. 25-18. Nearly a turnover. Oh, the Mules. Clayton Hurst is going to wind up. He misses the first one, but he will make the second one. Count it, and the foul.
That 3 on Torrance?
That'll be 2 on Torrance.
2. Okay. Oh, it's hard. That kid's so big down around the court, down around the rim that you just can't. You know, when he's in there like that, it's hard. But hey,
27-18.
We've had a decent second quarter.
We really have. Mules. Free throw coming up here by Ernst. He's got 6, make it 7 points now. It's back to a 10-point game again. And we're going to get a whistle here. That's going to be number 2 on Clayton Erst.
Come back to haunt him.
And that'll be team foul number 7. So now it's a 1-and-1 coming up.
That's a Jackson coach's nightmare. Your big man gets a cheap foul about 30 feet from the goal. I mean, that's unnecessary, but teachable moment for that kid.
So now we're going to see at the free throw line Isaiah Neville. He has not made a free throw so far tonight. Hopefully that changes right now. It does. We're going to see for the Mules now, we're going to see Hickman Roberson. Nope, he's going to check in for Isaiah Neville. 28-19 the score. Neville, second free throw upcoming, you betcha. Now we'll see Roberson coming in the ball game for Isaiah Neville.
8-point game.
You got to give the Mules credit, man. They are still hanging in there.
Oh, yeah.
They got out to a slow start like we normally do, but the Mules are battling back, have had a good quarter, outscored 14-1 in that first quarter. Blaine Harris off shot that time. Mules got a rebound. Good job, Jack Scott, on the rebound. That was just good awareness by Jack Scott, who come back in the ball game for that purpose to grab the rebound as time expires here in the first half. Well, we got lots to go. 10 minutes. We'll take a quick timeout. We'll say a 2-minute timeout. We'll come right back and we will break it all down for you. Mules trail 28-20. You're listening and watching Mules basketball on the Southeast Sign and Graphics Mules Radio Network.
Scott Law Firm is experienced in estate planning and the preparation of documents like wills and trusts. Let the Scott Law Firm help you protect your family and pass along your estate according to your terms. Call Scott Law Firm today at 785-4688. Southeast Signs and Graphics of Poplar Bluff can handle all of your printing needs, from t-shirts, wall displays, banners, and so much more. Call their team at 573-772-5566 or get to southeastsignsandgraphics.com.
Whitworth Gift Chest Jewelers is a third-generation family-owned jewelry and repair store who have served the Poplar Bluff community for over 60 years.
Our family has always worked hard to provide the finest jewelry creations and service imaginable.
All right, so we are back here. Mules find themselves down at 28-20. Let's break it all down for you here in the first half. Mules, John, were outscored in that first quarter 14-1, but then the Mules flipped the script a little bit, outscoring Jackson 19-14 in that second quarter. Real quickly, the Jackson Indians shot the ball 32% overall. They were 10 for 31, 1 out of 8 from behind the arc, 7 out of 10 on the free throw line. 5 assists already, 21 rebounds in the first half. They have out-rebounded 21-17. 2 steals. Oh, by the way, Jackson, 2 turnovers in that first half. They are led by Blaine Harris, 9 points, had 4 in the first, 5 in the second. All 7 points, by the way, by Clayton Erst come in that second quarter. And then from there, the scoring drops off. 4 by Judd Toma in the first quarter, and then 3 by Luke Talley in the first, 2 by Cade Winborn in the first, and 1 point by Steven Schneider also in the first. Your thoughts on Jackson there in that first half?
Well, offensively, they didn't do that much on us. They had plenty of opportunities to run the score on up, and they didn't. I feel like we played pretty good defense. Had a couple of breakdowns there late, or it would have been a whole lot closer of a game. But they shot well, and their defense was very stifling. We didn't really know what to do with them that first quarter, obviously. About half of the second quarter, we're going to have to take it to them, take it to the rim. I think Torrance did a good job with that. They're a little bit worried about getting posterized, block shot by Mr. Ernst, and that's going to happen. But you get a couple of fouls. He's got 2 now, so they need to cram it down, get it down there, get him 3, maybe 4, and that'll change the look of this game for sure.
Absolutely. Looking at the Mules side here in the first half, Mules shot the ball. I want to go by quarters here because in the first quarter, Mules were 0 out of 9. Second quarter, 7 out of 10. That's a great quarter by the Mules. 9 rebounds, 3 assists, 1 turnover. Mules had 3 turnovers in the first quarter. Mules for the half, 37%, 7 out of 19, 5 out of 10 on the free throw line. Just 1 for 3 from behind the arc. 17 rebounds, 2 offensive rebounds, 3 assists, 2 steals, 4 turnovers. They are led by Torrance Williams, all 6 coming in that second quarter. And then from there, 5 by Preston Moore, each coming in that second quarter. 3 points by Brendan Durden, 2 each by Darius Graham, Gavin Rivers, and by Isaiah Neville. All those coming in the second quarter. All in all, a good second quarter by the Mules. They've got to do that again, I believe, coming up in that third quarter.
Yeah, and I like Preston Moore's play tonight. He's really grown as a player every game this season. And when he's on the court, good things happen. He not only shoots it very well, but he's quick with the ball, and he also is quick with the pass. So I'd like to see Preston on the court a lot the second half. I think he may have tweaked his back a little bit or tweaked something just a little bit when he came out. I hope that's nothing major. But I'd like to see him. And, of course, Durden came alive a little bit there in Torrance. So, 8-point game. Had we made a couple more of those free throws, I won't mention it, Frankie, but that would have gotten us just a little bit closer. I think we weathered the storm. In games past earlier this season, it came unraveled, and we got so far down when we made our big run. We still make it a game, but we can't quite overcome the hump. And tonight, I think we weathered the storm, and we did not get too far down. 8 points is we can overcome that.
We can come back. By the way, Travis Gowan tuning in on YouTube tonight. He is back in Poplar Bluff, watching it from his living room. Ireland is here tonight. He says, "Let's go Mules." And I got to tell you, this guy Travis, you know what I'm talking about, don't you?
Yeah.
He's going to teach me. No offense to Tim. He does some tricks on the phone. He can record video and make it look like it's high definition. I have to get with him and figure out how to do that. Anyways, I'll be at the game on Thursday, Travis. I'm doing the PA, by the way, when the Lady Mules take on Sykes Dion.
I got to watch. I must give Travis a shout-out. I watched his video the other night. I don't know what all happened.
I don't either.
But I know that he had a lot more restraint than most people would have had. So hats off to that guy for being cool. Because there are some crazy people in the world, and man, I'll tell you,
I would have been kicked out.
I hate to say it, but I laughed pretty hard. That woman was wound up, and for no reason at all. And that's what's frustrating, basketball. And that I will get into this briefly, Frankie, if you don't mind, if you'll indulge me.
Oh boy!
Anybody wants to come out and see a nice, civilized, athletic endeavor, come out and watch a swim meet. This is something I've not really been involved with. But my daughter swims, and we've had fun with that. And you go to a big swim meet with a lot of kids. I can't speak for the boys because I haven't been to one of those. But for the girls, those kids are all supporting one another. The fans are all supportive, aside from 1 or 2 nutcases that want to whistle all the time. For those of you who know, that guy may take a beating at the next one in Springfield next week. But either way, it's a nice. And, basketball, I love basketball, always have. And I've probably lost most of the hair that I've lost watching basketball and being mad about it at one point or another in my life. It brings out the best in people, and it brings out a lot of times the worst in people. And I like the swimming because it's a great fun thing to go watch. And you may see a kid who's one of the slower swimmers of everybody there. And if she beats her personal best by half a second, she is happy like she won the lottery, man. And that's reassuring. If anybody wants to come out, I think it's, I want to say Pocahontas Thursday night. And then next weekend is going to be a Friday night and Saturday event in Springfield. It's a big one. 31 teams or something like that at their big pool over there. It's a fun thing. Anybody got nothing going on the 28th of January, be a good place to be to come see our girls swim their hearts out.
I want to go, and I was told if you go to a swim meet, I was told it's a great place to lose weight.
You can sweat it out. You got to bring.
I was told.
You know, it's weird. Lately, it's been warm enough where you can get by, but man, if it's cold out, you got to bring some shorts and a T-shirt because it's kind of one of those sauna spa deals. If you're in there on a 7-hour meet, you could sweat out your demons.
So looking on the floor right now, we're going to go back to the same starting 5 with the exception of Jack Scott will start off on the bench and Preston Moore comes in for him. The Mules will have the ball to begin this second half. Mules are going to go from right to left. They're going to go away from us here on your TV screens. So now the Mules going to inbound it. We are back to live action. Durden is going to hand off to Gavin Rivers. Boy, this will be a big possession. First couple of minutes, I think, will dictate the remainder of this ball game. Mules down by 8, 28-20. Durden getting inside. High arcing shot. It's no good. Rebounded by Clayton Erst. And now here comes the Jackson Indians once again. Erst from behind the arc. It is no good. And the rebound that time by Gavin Rivers. So each team 0 for 1. And we're going to get a turnover on the Mules as Gavin Rivers lost it going out of bounds.
Unforced turnover. That Ernst, he's got a nice shot. That's a nice 3-ball.
I thought it was going to go in, to be honest with you.
Soft touch.
Each team, by the way, with 4 timeouts remaining here in the ball game. Neither one has used one just yet in the second half. So now Blaine Harris kicks it inside to the big fella, a little bit short. But once again, they are offensive rebounding us to death. Judd Toma with the rebound. Blaine Harris, or make that Toma rather, gets it out to Blaine Harris. Harris with the left hand, it goes up and scores. He's got 11. And now it's back to a 10-point game again, 30-20. Boy, Blaine Harris, he is such a good athlete.
Yeah, breakdown down there defensively. We can't let him get those easy looks down around the rim.
So Durden now gets it over to Darius Graham. By the way, congratulations and good luck as we see another turnover that time as the Mules will turn it back over. Winborn gets it to Blaine. Oh, what a no-look pass to the big fella. I told you the first couple of minutes may dictate the outcome of this game, and we're going to have to get a timeout. It's going to be called by Poplar Bluff, and Coach Durden, not liking what he is seeing whatsoever, will step away with him. A 30-second timeout. 6:18 to go here in the third. Mules trail 32-20 on the Southeast Sign and Graphics Mules Radio Network. All right, so we are back real quickly. Congratulations to the Poplar Bluff swim team at the Tri-Meet. Poplar Bluff took first place, 132, Jackson 110, Farmington 61. Congratulations to the Lady Mules on a big win at the Tri-Meet in swim. By the way, congratulations and best of luck coming up to our cheerleaders as they head to Dallas on Thursday as they're on their way to nationals. How about that, Johnny boy?
I like it, Frankie. Nationals. That's what we like.
Well, I was referring to the swim team as well.
Yeah, that is fun. I'll tell you what, I'll buy anybody a beverage of their choice if they want to come out and hang out and watch the
Torrance
Lady
Williams
Mules
were having
swim.
the same issues that we had to begin the first quarter. Mules right now cannot buy a bucket here in the second half. Judd Toma with the floater inside.
Up to a maximum of So many people. Don't bring a bus load.
I'm gonna bring a big charter bus.
I got to have a loophole in there somewhere, Frankie.
No loopholes. 5:37 to play here in the third quarter.
How about a beverage of my choice?
Gotcha. I learned a lot about you.
Well, you know, I got to be careful. All of a sudden, I'll have a problem.
So Blaine Harris picks up the foul for the Jackson Indians. Isaiah Neville goes in and scores. We're going to see coming in Marlon Hitman-Roberson will check out for Preston Moore. On the other end for Poplar Bluff.
I'll just say it, Frankie. This is an ugly game on both ends, really. I mean, you know, aside from a few individuals on Jackson playing very well, the game itself is really not a good basketball game.
Back to a 12-point game again. And another basket up and good by the Indians. Man, Winborn, he's got 4 points here in the ball game. Still a 14-point game again. If there's any consolation here, the Mules JV was down by 10 points and came back to win. Darius Graham cannot get the shot to go. We're taking really good shots. Just can't fall. Winborn again for three. This one is off the mark. Isaiah Neville, going to be a jump. I believe it's going to be a jump ball. It's going to stay with the Indians.
We've missed a lot of just layups over the last 3 games-ish. I'm not sure what that is. I feel like we're not focusing in, you know, making great move to the rim. We're just kind of throwing it up there.
So Grant Borgfield will take a seat now. On the inbound, Mules take it away. Good job by Torrance Williams. 36-22. The Mules need a spark. Ron Withrow says, let's go Mules. I bet that guy is probably watching Mules basketball in his recliner with a big old Snickers bar. What do you think?
That sounds about right.
Durden for three. This one way off the mark. Somehow
pass.
Williams. I'm going to say that's
Frankie.
a pass.
Call that a pass.
I'll call that a pass. I'll give him the assist. I think it was a three-pointer, though, going wrong. Steal by Durden. Winborn turns it over, and we're going to get a whistle and a foul. Winborn picks up his second personal foul. That might be the spark. I think Ron Withrow's Snicker might be the spark we need.
The rally Snicker. It's the rally Snicker, Frankie.
You know, I'm trying to convert Ron Withrow. I'm trying to convert him to a Cubs fan. I'm trying.
Well, good luck.
It's not working, but I'm trying.
Good luck.
Good luck, he says. Durden on the free throw line. It's not baseball season. It will be soon enough. First one is up and good. 36-25 now the score. Durden with his 4th point of the ball game. Couple of free throws and a 2-point basket so far in this game. Second one is on the way, and he misses that one. Rebounded by Clayton Hurst. Well, I'll tell you what, Clayton Hurst so far, 9 rebounds, 9 points, 3 offensive rebounds.
He got his double-double here pretty soon.
He will. Good job by Roberson there.
There we go. Take it to him.
There you go, absolutely.
There we go, 9-point game.
So Darius Graham, now it's 36-27 the score.
You know, when Torrance is on like that, he covers a lot of space in a short period of time.
Yes, he does.
He could take about one step and get anywhere.
And we're going to get a timeout called, this one by the Jackson Indians. It is a full timeout. We'll step away for 30 seconds. You're watching Mules basketball and listening to Mules basketball on the Southeast Sign and Graphics Mules Radio Network. Mules basketball proudly presented by Christian Automotive and Tire, Eye Care Specialist, Larry Hillis Dodge, Briggs & Stratton. Also being brought to you by Taco John's and the Scott Law Group, LLC. Mules down at 36-27, inching back, only down by 9 points. And by the way, Ron Withrow, he chimed in He said, yes on the Snickers, no on the Cubs. We'll see, Ron. It's only January. My New Year's resolution, Ron Withrow, Cubs fan.
Well, you don't have to be a Cubs fan that maybe goes enjoy a game up there. I enjoy going to Wrigley once in a while.
Blaine Harris for 3. Oh, my gosh. Every time we come back, he buries it. 39-27 now. Darius Graham along the outside. Tries to go up. He lost it. Good job. Good concentration. Torrance Williams outside to Roberson. This one is no good as well. It's going to go out of bounds on the big fella. That was a good shot taken by Roberson, I thought, even though it didn't fall for him. Gavin Rivers coming in the ball game. By the way, Gavin Rivers very quiet so far tonight. Only a couple of points. We're going to see Gavin Holdman coming back in for the big fella. 9 points, 9 rebounds here in the ball game.
If Gavin gets going, he could hit a couple of threes real quick, give us a spark.
Only down by 12. Going to get a travel.
What?
Turnover on the Mules. 3:08 to go here in the ball game. I'm watching the replay here that I've got.
Huh.
Yep, he took one too many steps. Good job by the officials there. Got to give the officials credit.
We were playing NBA rules.
So now on the other end, Braden Toma in the ball game now for the Indians. Also Blaine Harris as well. He thought about taking the three-pointer there. Steven Schneider's going to go up, and he's got his second or first bucket of the ball game. And now it's a 14-point game again.
Well, that's how to shoot that one. High up soft off the glass.
It's going to be Blaine Harris, 14 points. He's got his second foul in the ball game, and that's team foul number 3 now for the Indians. Gavin Rivers now on the free throw line. He has done well this season at 74%. Knocks down the first one. And we're going to see Talley in the ball game now. He'll come in for Toma, Judd Toma. 41-28 the score now. Gavin Rivers, 3 points in the ball game. And he misses that one. One thing the Mules are doing tonight they haven't done in recent nights, they're going 1 for 2 on the line.
Yeah. Working on that 39% average for the year.
Durbin, boy, Hickman Roberson nearly had a steal. Tally now. Oh, what a move inside to Schneider. Schneider goes up and scores it. Holdman on the assist. 43-28 now, 15-point game.
You remember that time we beat them double overtime in the district championship, Frank?
I do. Durden, a big three-pointer. Boy, the Mules needed that one. Mules needed that three-pointer. Isaiah Neville on the assist. And now we're going to get a whistle and a foul coming up. It is the first foul on the Mules this half, and that'll be on Brendan Durden. He's got 7 points. We're going to see David Durbin in the ballgame now for the Mules.
That's our first foul.
First foul.
Huh. That's probably a sign of lack of defense, right? That's what most coaches would say.
Darius Graham in the ball game as well for Isaiah Neville. Mules down 43-31. Still a 12-point ball game with 2:07 to go. Tell you what, if the Mules three-point basket, this one too strong. Another offensive rebound though. Mules get away. Torrance Williams, a big block.
Need a bucket right here, Frankie.
Torrance Williams on the block. Another turnover. A steal by Toma. He is the coach's son, Harris. Oh, my gosh.
We really didn't need to turn it over right there.
No.
5-point swing.
That's a big turnover for the Mules in the negative sense. Gavin Rivers, he goes coast to coast. It's 46-33. Again, Talley takes a three in his face. The hand in his face by Torrance Williams. It's no good. Rebounded by Durbin. I still say if the Mules can cut it down to 10 before we get to the fourth quarter, I still say I like our chances.
Oh, we're hanging around, man. I mean, athletically we can play. Our players can play with this team, but we're going to have to get a couple of stops, and we can't. We got to cut down the turnover. We got to have margin for error on turnovers is very minimal right now. We really don't need those turnovers.
Nope.
That last one was a bad.
You said we're hanging around. That's a song. I'm hanging around. 1:11 to go. We're having some fun here, even though we're down by 12.
No problem.
I've got my green drink in hand. I'm not going to go horse tonight. Mules are going to turn it over again. Another turnover. Durden is going to be called for the foul. And that's number 3 on him.
Think about Durden, I don't know how much of a foul that was, but he plays kind of reckless. He's got that hair flying around. And when he kind of goes up for that swat and kind of swats that, they're going to call that. Even if there's no contact, it looks like there's contact.
I don't think he got him on the hand. I think the hair got him.
It just looked like a foul. And they'll call something looks like a foul, even if it's not a foul. And you foul somebody good. If it doesn't look like a foul, they won't call it. It's a real skill.
So Preston Moore back in the ball game. Free throw is up and good by Winborn. 47-33. Misses that one. Gavin Rivers on the rebound. Still have under a minute. Well, they try to get it to Moore. He was open for a minute. Gavin Rivers is open for 3. It's no good. It is rebounded by Holdman. A rare turnover by Jackson.
A little bit of gym class ball the last few possessions, just kind of up and down. But we need to convert some points here.
I bet Misty right now is not happy at home.
Eyeballing those treats.
She ain't getting much treats right now. Grandma's probably done kicked her out. 30 seconds. Isaiah Neville goes up. It's no good.
Not too much razzle-dazzle.
Little bit of razzle-dazzle, but the Mules right now should be a jump ball. Let's give it to the Mules. What do you say, Lloyd? I believe it's going to be a jump ball.
A WWE deal down there.
That's right. So the Mules will get it right back here on the jump ball.
There's my old buddy Eric Schalk down there walking around with a red vest on. I guess he's a turncoat. Wearing Jackson colors.
So now Darius Graham high off the backboard.
Nice.
That's a big shot by Gavin Rivers. We needed that one. We needed that one. Torrance Williams on the assist. 47. Tally shot is no good, but he got the offensive rebound.
That's how you just go up. We could learn from that, and that is instead of going all around and trying to do the scoop this and that, just go straight back up. You're either going to get the foul or you're going to get the layup.
John, the Jackson Indians have out-rebounded us 11-2 in this ball game.
That's not a good stat, Frank.
Tally with the free throw. He's got 4 points here in the ball game. It's 48-35. It's a 13-point game. Makes it 14 points again. Mules have 3 seconds to get something going. Isaiah Neville at the buzzer. Oh boy, that would have been huge.
It had the look.
It did. All right, we're going to come right back. Fourth quarter on the way. Mules down by 2 touchdowns. You're watching live coverage of Mules basketball on the Southeast Sign and Graphics Mules Radio Network.
Caring for those you love also means taking good care of yourself. At Poplar Bluff Regional Medical Center, our healthcare providers take the time to identify your health risks and help you prioritize good health. Regular checkups and age-appropriate screenings are important to be healthy now and stay well in the future. With same or next day appointments and online scheduling, we make it easy to make an appointment right now. You can even see us from the comfort of your own home via telehealth. Put your health first today by making an appointment by visiting pbrmc.com and searching online scheduling.
All right, so we are back here as we get ready for the fourth and final quarter. Mules are down 14 points in this ball game, John. You look at the last quarter, Jackson did it again, outscoring the Mules at 21-15. Mules have got to put together a remarkable quarter to come back in this ball game.
You remember the time we came over here not so long ago and beat them in football, Frankie?
I do remember that game.
In the pit?
It was cold that night, and it was a lot of fun.
Wind was whistling, and
it was whistling Dixie. Jackson going to inbound now on the inbound here as the Mules will have on the floor Isaiah Neville, Darius Graham, Gavin Rivers, Preston Moore, and Jack Scott. Mules got to get a stop. Or make that shot is no good by, Clayton Nurst. And he stepped out of bounds, or is it a foul? Maybe a foul.
Push off.
Yes, it is.
You know, we've done a good job on Ernst in just the offensive set. He's missed a lot of shots. He had the dunk earlier and a couple of sloppy buckets off of rebounds. But as far as their offensive set goes, he's not gotten what he wants down there.
So now the Mules trying to kick it into high gear here tonight, down by 14 points, 49-35. Remember, Jacksonville down by 27, came back to win on a field goal, just in case you're wondering.
How about that extra point kicker for the Cowboys, Frankie?
I didn't watch the game last night. I'm a big good job by Darius Graham, or make that Gavin Rivers, rather. Missed the first opportunity. Back to a 12-point game again. Clayton Ernst again, up and over. He's got 11 points. We can't trade buckets with him.
Nope. First team to 50, huh, Frankie?
Yeah. I think the first team to 55. I'll keep up on it every time. Gavin Rivers now.
Best 2 out of 3, best 3 out of 5.
That's right. 4 out of 7.
Just keep on going.
5 out of 10. Darius Graham has shot a little bit flat that time, rebounded by Blaine Harris. He has had a great ball game, 17 points here tonight. Going to get a whistle and a foul coming up. It'll be against the Mules. I believe it's on Gavin Rivers. You know, I will say this. One thing about these two teams, they always meet up in the playoffs. Usually, whoever wins the regular season usually loses the districts, and if it comes down to it, I'm not saying I want this to happen tonight. I'm just saying if it comes down to it, I would much rather lose here tonight as opposed to losing in the districts. I'm just saying.
Now that is putting a positive spin on this, Frankie. I like it.
I mean, I'm just giving you the statistics.
This is how we roll. We're thinking long-term postseason play right here.
I absolutely am. And I can tell you this, Blaine Harris is not going to run wild over the Mules in the next round and the next time they see each other.
That's brilliant coaching. Come out the first quarter and score 1 point just so we can win in the postseason. I like that. That's next level. It's Bobby Knight business.
That's right. Coach Durden's down there as we see Brendan Durden with a three-point ball. It's no good. There's your double-double there by Clayton Ernst. 11 points, 10 rebounds. I was going to say Coach Durden is probably Harris again. This one he misses. Another offensive rebound, though. Oh, the Mules fighting for it this time. Durden comes up with it. Mules have numbers. Yes, nice. Sir. Torrance Williams. And we're going to get a timeout called by the Mules.
Good work by Durden right there. He stayed after it, kind of a globetrotter move. Kept the ball alive. Nice little break, good dish, good finish.
I was going to say Coach Durden's down there probably thinking in Hulk Hogan terms, what you going to do, brother? When the Mules run wild over you in districts. Because you know these two teams will hook up again in districts. They always do.
They always do.
5:49 to go here in the ball game. Mules shooting 41%, but in this half we are 7 out of 15 so far. We have been out-rebounded 11-6 in this half. Jackson once again, they've got 11 offensive rebounds to our 3 so far.
You know, the district's different this year, right, Frankie? They always move it around a little bit.
Yeah, we're going to Kirkwood this year.
Yeah.
We always have to go to St. Louis. That's the conspiracy.
Yeah, they combined them. That was a COVID deal, right? They combined them and made it bigger.
I'm going to be prudent and consistent. That's the words.
Prudent and consistent.
That's right. As we see Cade Winborn, he's being consistent
like
here tonight.
5'8", and just laid that in.
Grant Borchfield on the assist, 54-39 the score. It's time for the Mules to be prudent and consistent. He misses that one. Durden still fighting for the loose ball rebound. Goes in and going to draw a foul.
Hey, that's good effort, though.
It was very good effort.
Everybody should play that hard.
He's got 4 fouls. That's the only problem.
Well, you get 5, so you don't want to leave any on the runway.
I'm going to start a petition where we got to start. We have to have 6.
Well, you know, I've thought about that in college because, you know, good kid gets a couple fouls early. It really changes the game. as physical as they play now. They call a foul just about every play.
I'm surprised you're here in Jackson, because weren't you kicked out of Jackson back in 1945?
That's right. I had to wear a disguise, Frankie. Had to sneak in under the cloak of darkness.
And there's Faith Durden right here beside me. She can't watch. She's pacing. You can tell it's bad when she's pacing.
Well, it's not great.
Three-point basket by Toma, no good. Torrance Williams going for the rebound. Good job by Hickman Robeson. Darius Graham fights for it, goes up and scores. He's got 8 points here in the ball game. It's 54-41. It's still a 13-point ball game.
Yeah.
A lot can still transpire.
It's frustrating because if we just have a normal first quarter, this is a neck-and-neck game.
It is. We like to make things interesting.
We can't quite string together a whole game of decent play.
And that's going to be the 4th foul by Gavin Rivers as well. And that's team foul number 6 now for Poplar Bluff.
Boy, shoot the ball, 23.
Yep.
Nice shot.
That's O'Harris. He's
Nice
got
shot.
19
Soft touch.
on the inbound there by Borchfield. 56-41.
First team to 60.
First team to 60. By the way, we're going to Dyersburg, Tennessee on Friday night. Never been there.
Oh, yeah.
I've been through there, just never been to high school.
Yeah.
Darius Graham. Oh, they're going to wave it off. They're going to say a travel instead. He did take one too many steps. Got to give him credit for the hustle there. And we're going to see a line change. Cole Deck, Gavin Holman in the ball game. Braden Toma, Judd Toma stays in the ball game, and Steven Schneider also checking in. You going to Dyersburg on Friday night?
Let's see. This Friday night, yep, I'll be there. Now, next Friday, I don't think I'll be
in Cape Central?
Wherever we're playing. Yeah, I'm not going to make that one. I'm going to watch the girls swim. Anybody interested, come on over.
That is unacceptable.
And it might or might not be my birthday that weekend, Frankie.
Is it your birthday?
Also, Space Shuttle Disaster Day, if anybody's keeping score at home, January 28th. That's commonly known as Space Shuttle Disaster Day, which is terrible. But I think, yeah, we're going to head over to Springfield, and I'm going to watch the ladies swim. They have a unique deal. It's Friday evening. They do part of it, and then the big meet is on Saturday. They have a really nice facility over there that I guess all the high schools there in Springfield chipped in on. They call it a natatorium, I think is the word. I didn't know that was a word, but I learned it last week. And it's a big facility. They had almost 400 participants in the meet. Throw a bunch of parents in there and coaches, and it's pretty wild. So we're going to do that.
Dallas Williams checking in for the first time. Also David Durbin in as well. 56-41. Mules have lost 3 games in a row. Their last win came back on January 5th against Carl Junction. Clayton Nurse could not get that shot to go down as he is back in the ball game now. Good job by David Durbin. As Durbin gets the rebound, and we're going to get a whistle here. It's going to go out of bounds. Blaine Harris is back in the ball game now. It's going to be that last turnover, by the way, on Darius Graham. So Blaine Harris is going to come in now. He'll check in for Toma. Coming up on the 3-minute mark, Clayton Nurse misses the shot. Offensive rebound, he can't get it to go down. But another offensive rebound by Jackson.
Whoa. 23, Gus.
Oh, Harris. Oh, what a move inside. Harris gets it. And that's going to be a whistle and a foul coming up, I believe. Gavin Holman.
A little bit of business there.
58-41 the score. Well, we appreciate everybody watching here tonight. Not going the way that we wanted it to go, but nevertheless, Mules nearly turn it over. 58-41 the score. And we're going to get a whistle here. Another foul coming up on the Jackson Indians.
clunky game, Frankie.
Just a little bit. It's going to be on Clayton Erst. It'll be his 4th. He will come out of the ball game. 11 points, 11 rebounds.
Offensively, he didn't kill us.
No. Blaine Harris is the one that hurt us.
He wounded us pretty good.
Yes, he did. Yeah. Judd Toma is going to pick up a foul, it looks like. And that'll be just his first foul all ball game.
I can see why Jackson's done well this year. They really come at you, and they've got a lot of players that are sort of interchangeable. They play well as a team and shoot the lights out.
So both teams now are going to be in the bonus. There's a big shot by the Mules. Torrance Williams on the inbound from David Durbin. 58-43 now the score. And we've got a foul here on, looks like it's going to be on Braden Toma. It'll be his 2nd personal. Team foul number 7. Isaiah Neville, 1-1, makes the first one. So now Darius Graham is back in for the Mules. Second free throw is up. Oh, it misses. Rims out on him.
Keeping that 50%.
Yeah. And there's a two-handed jam by Gavin Holdman. So now the Mules, as Torrance Williams goes up, and he'll draw the foul.
Well, Torrance gets out, doesn't he? I mean, he really got some hops.
Yes, he does. So Judd Toma picks up the foul. It's going to be his 2nd personal. First one is up and good by Torrance. Brendan Durden is back in the ballgame now for the Mules. Isaiah Neville takes a seat. Second one coming up here by Torrance Williams with 2:11 to go. The Mules miss a second one. Holdman rather, on the rebound. Toma.
Euro step.
We're going to get a whistle and a foul coming up on the Mules. I believe it's going to be on Darius. Is it going to be on? Nope, it'll be on Dallas Williams.
Also known as a walk. If you're old like me, Frankie.
What gave that away? First free throw coming up here. It is up and it's good by Toma.
First one to 62.
Let's make this interesting. First one to 65. So Toma with 8 points, 62-45. Mules here nearly turn it over. And we're going to get a whistle here and another foul.
They're trying to keep us up, Frankie. We got to drive back. You got to take all this stuff down. And
no, we're going to leave it overnight.
I don't know how you do it anyway on a good day, but on a, what is it, Tuesday? Tuesday night at whatever it is, midnight. Oh, 8:54. I'm on East Coast time. Dubai, it's like 3 in the morning.
Well, I've told Tim he's got about 10 minutes to get it all taken down. If it's not, I'm leaving without you. If your butt's not in that seat, you're going to stick behind. Darius Graham's got 10 points. 62-47. Coming up, I believe we're going to have a live interview on the way with one of the coaches here. Not sure which one. I would say probably Coach Aaron Duncan, I believe. And we're going to get a whistle and a foul coming up on Darius Graham. Mules have 9 team fouls here. Cade Winborn is going to the free throw line. It's a 1-and-1, and Mr. Winborn knocks it down. And Clayton Hurst, I missed that guy. He's back in the ball game with a big lead, 63-47. And he makes them both. So Borchfield back in the ball game. Boy, Jackson putting their starters back in with 1:38 to go. Don't see that very often, do you? Get a whistle and a foul.
Jackson move. That's what I would expect of Jackson. No offense to Jackson, I get it. After the beating we threw on them in football season, I can see why they're still a little bit stung by that. Right? Not to mention that district championship a couple years ago. I understand. But like you say, Frankie, we'll see them again.
We will, more than likely.
We're just soaking up all their weaknesses. Learning.
64-47 the score. And we've got a whistle here. Another foul coming up. We're trying to stay on the air until 10 o'clock.
I think these refs are getting paid hourly, man.
I'm getting paid by the word.
This guy's getting whistle happy.
It's going to be a foul on the Mules. It'll be on David Durbin.
Got a few fouls tonight.
Each team with 10 fouls here in this half.
I'll say Jackson with the new coach this year, they seem to have transitioned pretty well. Got good players, but he's coached them up nicely. They
really
play well as a team.
And he's a nice guy as well.
Well, I wouldn't say that, Frank.
I got to give him his props.
Okay, well, I guess so.
Three-point basket is no good by Durden, rebounded by the Indians. Blaine Harris, 19 points. I just find it very ironic with a minute to go, up by 18 points. Up by 18, and Jackson has all 5 starters in.
Yeah, I mean, you know, in a simpler time, there might be a fisticuffs might break loose. Can I say that?
So Brendan Durden
yeah,
is going to wind up and foul out of the ball game.
I mean, I'm not sure what the reason for that is.
7 points and 3 rebounds. I've got a pretty good idea.
I'm sure the coach has his reason.
He does. I can't say them on live air. I may get ridiculed for saying it. I'll keep that to myself.
Yeah, fair enough. But usually that kind of stuff come back to haunt.
Yes.
When the basketball gods get around to taking a look at it.
Well, I guess I should go ahead and tell you now, John. This is my last Mules game here tonight, folks.
You're going to start working over. You told me that one time, and I bid it hook, line, sinker. You'd
Yes, you
take
did.
a job at Jackson.
No, I was going to say it's my last Mules game until Friday night, folks.
It'll be here before you know it.
Darius Graham, no good on the shot.
Going on the East Coast. We've been on the West Coast. Now we're going to go East Coast.
Yep, rebounded by Clayton Hurst. So Hurst with another rebound, trying to pad his stats a little bit.
So far, we're undefeated in East Coast.
Oh,
right?
I don't think so.
Illinois and Tennessee.
No, we're undefeated in Illinois. In Illinois,
Let me think a minute.
we've lost to.
Who'd we lose to in Tennessee?
Well, no, we haven't lost to anybody in Tennessee.
Right.
We won against a team that was for Tennessee.
Yes, we're undefeated out of state. We're an out-of-state team, Frankie. We're more of a global phenomenon.
So this one's going to go final 67-47. Jackson is going to end up and take the game by 20. Final score tonight, Jackson defeats Poplar Bluff. So that being said, I tell you, it's going to be interesting to see what happens coming up when the districts roll around, because I can assure you these two teams are going to hook up once again. I can almost guarantee it, as the Mules fall here tonight by a score of 67-47. I believe at some point we're going to have Coach Will Durden or Aaron Duncan more than likely come up and talk to us. You got to rush off. I mean, usually you're like out the door before the buzzer goes off.
I want to be out in the parking lot in case a fight breaks out, Frankie.
That you're going to start.
I got my maroon on, throw my colors.
I want to go over the stats here real fast before Coach walks up here. The Mules shot the ball just 41% overall, 16 out of 39. They were 2 out of 8 from behind the arc, 13 out of 23. It's a big number there. Mules missing 10 free throws, 26 rebounds. Mules were out-rebounded here tonight, 40-26. And it comes down to offensive rebounds. Jackson had 13 offensive rebounds. Mules had 3. Oh, by the way, the Mules had 11 turnovers. However, the Mules only were able to force 6 turnovers against Jackson, and that's a big part of the scoring process here tonight. Looking at the overall numbers right now for the Mules, they were led in scoring tonight. Torrance Williams, I thought, had a phenomenal game. 13 points, also 5 rebounds, 1 assist. Going down the wire, the Mules only had 2 scorers in double figures. Darius Graham had 10 points, 2 assists, 2 rebounds, and then from there, 7 points by Brendan Durden, also 7 by Gavin Rivers, 5 by Isaiah Neville, and then from there, you had 5 points by Preston Moore, and that was all of our scoring here tonight. 2 scores in double figures, Torrance Williams and Darius Graham, 13 and 10 respectively, and then Gavin and Brendan Durden each fouling out, or I should say Gavin had 4 fouls. Brendan Durden fouled out, each with 7 points, and that was our scoring here tonight.
Yeah, I'm just listening to the stats, Frankie, and, you know, Jackson just was a better team tonight, and they pretty well beat us at every aspect of the game, but we didn't quit. Made a couple of decent runs, got within, 9 at one time, maybe 8. You know, we just aren't firing on all cylinders the whole game. We have sparks of what we normally do, but we're just not quite running right for some reason, especially offensively. I felt like defensively, you know, until the end, it got a little choppy there, but we did a pretty good job with Jackson, and they got good players, good shooters, and out-rebound us like they did, but we were still hanging around. And so we just got to get it together at this point. 6-8 on the year. You know, we're going to have to play for a little pride here coming down the stretch, getting into the heart of the season. And these guys need to figure out who they are, come together, and regroup and play loose and play some Mules basketball. Let's run this thing and get some points and do what we do, run some of these teams out of the gym.
Absolutely, and the bottom line is, I mean, this game in terms of district seeding, it didn't mean something because eventually these 2 teams I really believe are going to hook up again. It's going to be in the district tournament, and you can bet that night it's going to be a little bit different. The Mules now know what Jackson is all about, and they are about their offensive rebounding. That 6'8" senior, that's what they are about. And that, to me, if the Mules can neutralize the 6'8" senior and put a body on Blaine Harris, much different outcome. As you said before, it comes down to that first quarter. Mules outscored 14-1. Then the Mules come back and outscored 19-14. Third quarter, they were outscored 21-15, 18-12 in the fourth quarter. It comes back to the first quarter going down by 13 points. We could never recover, even though we made it close. And there was a few times I thought to myself, you know what, we're going to do this. Could not get it any closer. But once again, it came down to the first quarter. We neutralized that first quarter. I believe it's a much different ball game the rest of the game.
Yeah, you know, we got good tape to watch. Familiar with the team now. We know how to play them. And like you say, we just block out on the paint, step up our defense a little bit, and then just make a few shots. I think if I'm Coach Durden, I'm going to say next practice, let's just shoot layups for about 3 hours. Practice on those layups because we get a lot of really good looks, a lot of great athletic moves to the rim. We got guys can jump out of the gym fast as lightning, and they get up and they just can't quite finish, I think, because they've done so much to get where they are. They're not focusing on laying it in. And we saw Jackson do that a lot tonight. You know, they get down there and high off the glass, soft touch. We make a few of those buckets, man, we could be a really good team. We got the pieces. We just got to figure out how to get them put together.
Absolutely. So once again, the Mules here fall tonight to the Jackson Indians. Now go to 6-8 on the season. The Mules have lost 4 straight. And looking once again, if you missed the scoring, it come down to 2 of our starting 5 with double figures. Torrance Williams had 13 points, 5 rebounds. Also, Darius Graham, 10 points, 2 rebounds, and 2 assists. And then from there, 7 points each by Brendan Durden, also by Gavin Rivers, and 5 points by Isaiah Neville and Preston Moore. And that's it. That is all of our scoring here in the ball game as the Mules fall tonight by 20 points. 67-47 is the score. And I will see you again coming up on Friday night.
Yes, sir. I'll be there.
All right, so the Mules fall tonight once again. To recap our score, or I should say, we want to say thank you again to all of our sponsors. Without our sponsors, this game is not possible. And our sponsors here tonight, they include First Midwest Bank, Kevin's Auto Repair, PB Realty Legacy Farm and Land Specialists, Whitworth Gift Chest Jewelers, also being brought to you by Russians Towing, our good friends at Air Solutions in Poplar Bluff, and being brought to you by Poplar Bluff Regional Medical Center, Patriot Auto Glass, Christian Automotive and Tire Eye Care Specialist, and being brought to you by Larry Hillis Dodge, Briggs & Stratton, the Scott Law Group LLC, and Taco John's. Mules fall tonight by a final score of 67-47. Next game is coming up on Friday night live in Dyersburg, Tennessee. Pre-game around 7:15. And tip-off at 7:30. For John Scott, Tim Hicks, I'm Frankie Castile. We're saying so long as the Mules cannot get it done tonight. I'll see you back tomorrow morning at 6 a.m. live on the radio on 93.3 FM and 9:30 a.m. for the KWOC Morning Edition. Have a great night. Mules cannot get the win tonight. You've been watching and listening to Mules basketball on the Southeast Sign and Graphics Mules Radio Network.